Hey, what's going on, world? My name is Adonis X, and today I'll be talking about ratchet females. What to expect from them, how can you tell a ratchet female, what traits, characteristics they each have, and, me personally, first and foremost, let me just put it out there, my personal opinion, steer clear of ratchet females. If you see somebody says, yeah, I'm ratchet, and steer clear, bro. She may be gorgeous, Coke bottle physiques and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, ratchet is ratchet. So just keep that in mind. So first and foremost, a ratchet female, no self-respect. They will pretty much wear whatever, like for instance, the town that I'm currently in, you'll have people that wake up in the morning, not brush their teeth, not wash their face, throw on a hairnet, throw on pajama pants, just head out. Nothing wrong with that, except for the fact that you're going to the DMV supermarket, you're enjoying your whole day with the same clothes you had on. You didn't brush your teeth, you didn't wash your face. I can still see crust in your eyes, the white all over your face. I could see the middle of your hands, all white. You could tell you didn't lotion up, shower, or whatever. You still have that last night. Whether you were drinking, smoking, whatever you were doing, you still have that. So no self-respect. They don't know how to act in public. You might, have a little disagreement. They'll turn it to an outrageous, huge situation that you just like, oh my God, how did I get myself into this situation? So if you're a logical thinking person, man or woman, stay away from ratchets. If you're a logical thinking person, stay away from ratchets, because all they'll do is bring you down and just pretty much take you to a place where you yourself, the animal, will come out of you. Because if you're around an animal all day and that's all you do, eventually you start getting those traits. So keep that in mind. You are who you hang out with. So that's a saying that's constantly out there. You are who you hang out with. So if you hang out with ratchets, you hang out with an animal, eventually you will become that animal. Look at all these fights on World Star. Look at all these things. They don't know how to act. And you can't stop them once they start, a lot of the times, unless you use force, by physical force or verbal force. So you can't, hey, sweetheart, listen, just calm down, relax. Just, babes, chill out. No, yeah, the chopper, yeah. You gotta go berserk in order to stop them. So keep that in mind. They act like a fool, no self-respect. They dress any type of way, provocative. They're always trying to ultimately attract the next sucker to, get what they need. It's all about, what can this person do for me, and how can this person benefit me? So if you don't want to be put in a situation where you're outside and you have a respect for yourself, and you might be around colleagues, whatever the case may be, and they'll come, act a fool, embarrass you, and it's ridiculous. You see what I'm saying? So, the gentleman Tommy Sotomayor said once, never date someone who has more to lose than you do. Now, I slightly disagree with that, because not everyone has the same, I might have more money than you, but you might have more skills than me. So your skills could equate to dollar signs if you know how to market yourself. So I don't just say that. But when you come to ratchets, they will literally come to your job, allow you to lose your job if you have a job. They will scrape up your car, key up your car, throw paint on it. I've seen it personally. They will, if you're doing something underground, selling bud, whatever, they'll snitch you out. Know that. You see what I'm saying? And all these things could happen, especially if you tell yourself, or tell the ratchet, listen, I want to separate myself from you because you're this, that, and the third. This is what you do. This is what I don't like. I want to separate myself from you, but they don't allow you to do that. So keep that in mind, as well. Like I said, dress provocative, constantly, just wear whatever. Don't care who's around. We could be walking with that kid. They don't care. They'll be tights with, you know, all these cuts on it, you know, the camel toe showing fierce, you know, derriere showing lovely, you know, ass just popping, and all of that for attention, all of that to potentially find someone else, and things of that nature. Most of them, if they cheat on you, you'll never find out. And correction, I won't say you never find out. They'll never tell you. And even if you find out, they'll deny it unless you're like, all right, I got no choice but to admit to this because this guy is about to split. So keep that in mind. They will lie to you through their teeth, even if caught, and even if you, unless you tell them, look at the picture of you. This is you right here. That's not me. So I don't know what to tell you in regards to that. You know, compulsive liars a lot of the time. You know, no respect for your friends, no respect for your family a lot of times. Once they're mad, you see what I'm saying? Because sometimes you may not know. They may be quiet. So you didn't see that side until something comes up. And it's another thing I got to tell you guys. Do not just go and become intimate with a person just because you have the opportunity right there. Most ratchets will give it up like that. You see what I'm saying? Most people just trying to smash will give it up like that. But my thing with ratchets, they'll give it up, not care about any type of protection most of the time, not on any type of birth control, and will most likely say something like, oh, please, you could come inside me. And a simpleton will say, really? I have the opportunity to do that? And do it like an idiot. 9 months later, she gets pregnant, throw you on child support because there's just like, I know exactly how I'm going to get money. Oh, another thing, ratchets, they completely depend on the system for the most part. If they're not possibly doing something else to generate a little bit of revenue here and there to you know, support their maybe weed habit, coke habit, Molly habit. Okay, here's another thing I got to tell you guys. For those of you out there that's using Molly's, you know Molly's the new crack, right? You know there's crack, bath salts, and other things in Molly. So Molly is just the new crack. Remember that. You know, you got these, you know, Tiger songs, Molly, 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 you know, getting your brain all focused on, let me get a Molly. But don't you see, you use a Molly, and then you need the next fix right there. You need to keep getting that fix. You see what I'm saying? I look at dudes that sell Molly, what they do? What they say? Oh, I'm going to serve the fiends. You're the fiend. Keep that in mind. So, ratchet females, constant drug abusers. I mean, they love their drugs. A lot of them. Alcohol, whatever the case may be. They love it. And not saying other regular people don't. But it goes hand in hand with ratchet. You know, what else we got? I mean, there's so much. What else? You know, going back to the dressing, they don't care where they're dressed provocative. It could be a birthday party, it could be your grandmother's party, it could be a funeral, it could be a wedding. Keep that in mind. What else? Lack of hygiene for a lot of them. I was talking about the leaving the house, not washing your face, not brushing your teeth, things to that nature. Keep that in mind. Lack of hygiene is huge. They'll go all day, no shower, wearing pajama pants, you know, the big footsie things that people like to wear, you know, possibly a short cut shirt, and it depends on the weather, and, you know, hairnet, covering their hair because their weave is not in that day, or maybe their weave is in, and they just didn't feel like brushing their, combing their hair. So keep that in mind. Oh, extravagant weaves. When it comes to the whole weave thing, some people say self-hate, some people say this, some people say that. It's a million things. My thing when you're dealing with ratchets, their weaves are so multicolored a lot of the time, so long. I mean, your kid doesn't have proper clothes to go to school, but yet you got Brazilian weave. Oh, I got the Brazilian. You know what I mean? Now, for those of you that might not know what Brazilian weaves, that's the equivalent of red bottoms for weaves. So keep that in mind. You know, that's the new thing. Oh, Brazilian. You know, whatever. So, spoke about that. Oh, when you talk about ratchets, you have to talk about the fact that they hardly ever listen. they rarely listen. You could tell them, hey babes, listen, you know, don't take this street today because, you know, it could be an issue with construction. Then you're waiting for them to pick you up. They took the construction road. Hey babes, where you at? Oh, there's some construction on this street. Didn't I tell you not to go on that street today because of the construction? Oh no, but come on, I mean, and they always have an excuse. And the excuse doesn't even make sense. And then when you break it down that, hey, listen, babes, what you're saying right now doesn't make sense, they just get frustrated, upset, and say, yeah, you trying me, you always want to just argue, da-da-da. I'm trying to help you. I'm not yelling, my voice is not raising any octaves, I'm just trying to help you be a better person. And that's another thing. Most of them are content with the ratchetness. A ratchet, you cannot convert a ratchet. That's like, I'm deep into Islam, and you as a Christian trying to convert me talk about your religious practices, and I'm deep into my practice. You can't convert me. There's nothing you can say. All I'm going to do is tell you why mine is better than yours. Simple as that. That is a ratchet. Common sense is not common to ratchets. You know, critical thinking is not common to ratchets. You have to keep that in mind. All of these things are ratchet behavior, and you can't, you know, be fooled by a woman saying, oh, you know, I just do this because, always have an excuse, constantly lying, constantly catching them in lies. You know, read books in regards to lies. I have one book that I'm reading. It's called Never Be Lied to Again by David Lieberman. It's another book. I'm going to try to get you the book. Another book. Start with that book. You got Body Language for Dummies. You can go right to the library. You don't have to purchase these books. Go right to your local library and purchase these books. Body language books, lie detection books. You need these things when you're dealing with ratchets, especially because you could have a regular woman that's lying to you. She could be a doctor. She could be a lawyer. But because of her caliber, there's certain things she won't do to embarrass you. There's certain things she'll, you know, not saying that it's okay for her to lie and not okay for another person to lie. But if you choose to deal with a woman that may have some ratchet traits, you have to be prepared because their lie could put your life in danger opposed to a lie that a doctor gave you, you know, about whatever the case may be. So always keep that in mind. They could have just left some thug's house. So, yeah, he's you know, he was situating a situation with them, and now they come home to you. They don't tell you what they just did. Now they put your life in danger as far as physically, depends on whether they chose to use protection or not. Two, if the person is so in love with whoever your ratchet is, now they want to come and put their hands on you because they feel like, oh no, you know, that's my girl and blah blah blah. Okay, bro, you can have her. Nah, we gotta fight because he's a ratchet dude. Or some people say, oh, dudes are not ratchets. They're just that, and third. Man, whatever. The word ratchet fits for them, and I'm gonna throw it at them. You know, what else is there? You know, hardly ever listens without some verbal, physical abuse, compulsive liars, constant manipulation, constant manipulation. You gotta remember, they're manipulative. They're gonna constantly try you. They're gonna constantly try to say, oh, babes, can I get this? Always trying to get money from you. Always trying to get something from you. Something. Always. Like, you know, they'll come, hey, I got some peanut butter, no jelly. Hey, I got some ham, no burger. I got some, you know, Kool-Aid, no sugar. You know, for those of you that might dabble in your little Mary Jane, I got the weed, no roll-up, or I got the roll-up, no weed. You know, come on. You know what I mean? Always empty-handed, half-assing the majority of a lot of things. So these are a lot of things you gotta just be aware of. You know, I'm gonna stop it for now, but I'm gonna continue on part 2, and so you guys could see really what's going on in regards to more of what's happening with these ratchets and how you could tell. So see you in part 2. Stand by.